Mayday, mayday, Adria Air 12. We have lost engine power. Mayday, mayday, Adria Air 12. This is an emergency. This is an emergency. Attempting to land on sea.
Give me excess of it, that surfeiting the appetite may sicken and so die. That strain again, it had a dying fall. Oh, it came on my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough. No more. Well, it's not so sweet now as it was before. Oh, spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that, notwithstanding thy capacity, receiveth as the sea. Naught enters there, of what validity and pinch soe'er, but falls into abatement and low price even in a minute. So full of shapes is fancy that it alone is high fantastical. Oh, she that hath a heart of that fine frame, to pay this debt of love, but to a brother? How will she love when the rich golden shaft hath killed the flock of all affections else that live in her? When liver, brain, and heart, these sovereign thrones, are all supplied and filled, her sweet perfections with one self-king. Away before me to sweet beds of flowers. Love thoughts lie rich when canopied with bowers.
What country friend is this?
This is Illyria, lady.
And what should I do in Illyria? My brother, he's in Elysium.
Perchance he is not drowned. What think you, Captain? It is perchance that you yourself were saved.
Oh, my poor brother. And so perchance may he be?
True, madam, and to comfort you with chance, I saw your brother, most provident in peril, bind himself to a strong mast that lived upon the sea, where like Orion on the dolphin's back, I saw him hold acquaintance with the waves, so long as I could see.
For saying so, there's gold. Knowst thou this country?
Aye, madam, well, for I was bred and born not 3 hours' travel from this very place.
Who governs here?
Orsino.
Orsino. I had heard my father name him. He was a bachelor then.
And so is now, or was so very late. For about a month ago I went from hence, and then it was fresh in Murm that he did seek the love of fair Olivia.
What's she?
A virtuous maid, the daughter of a duke that died some 12 months since, then leaving her in the protection of his son, her brother, who shortly also died. For whose dear love, they say she hath abjured the company and sight of men.
Oh, that I served that lady!
Thou were hard to compass, because she will admit no kind of suit, no, not the duke's.
There's a fair haviour in thee, captain. I prithee, and I'll pay thee bounteously for such disguise as haply shall become the form of my intent. I'll serve this duke. What else may hap, to time I will commit. Lead me on.
What a plague meets my niece to take the death of her brother thus? I am sure care's an enemy to life.
By my troth, Sir Toby, you must come in earlier nights. Your cousin, my lady, takes great exceptions to your ill hours.
Why, let her accept before accepted.
Aye, but you must confine yourself within the modest limits of order.
Oh, confine! I'll confine myself no finer than I am. These clothes are good enough to drink in, and so be these boots too. And they be not, let them hang themselves in their own straps.
That quaffing and drinking will undo you. I heard my lady talk of it yesterday, and of a foolish knight you brought in one night here to be her wooer.
Who? Sir Andrew Aguchi?
Aye, he.
He's as tall a man as any in Illyria.
What's that to the purpose?
Why, he has 3,000 ducats a year.
Aye, but he'll have but a year in all these ducats. He's a very fool and a prodigal.
Oh, fie that you'll say so. He plays a viol de gamboys and speaks 3 or 4 languages, word for word, without book, and has all the good gifts of nature.
He hath indeed almost natural. For besides that he's a fool, he's a great quarreller. And but that he hath the gift of a coward, to allay the gust he hath in quarrelling, 'tis thought among the prudent he would quickly have the gift of a grave.
Oh, by this hand! There are scoundrels and substractors that say so of him. Who are they?
They that add, moreover, he's drunk nightly, in your company.
Well, drinking health to my niece. I will drink to her as long as there is a passage in my throat and drink in Illyria. He is a coward and a corkscrew that will not drink to my niece till his brains turn out to like a parish dog. What wench? Ooh, Castellano Vulgo, for here comes Sir Andrew Agueface.
Oh, Sir Toby Bell! Well, now, Sir Toby Bell!
Sweet Sir Andrew.
Bless you, fair shrew. And you too, sir.
Accost, Sir Andrew, accost.
What's that?
My niece's chambermaid.
Oh, good Mistress Accost, I desire better acquaintance.
My name is Mary, sir.
Oh, good Mistress Mary Accost.
You mistake, knight. Accost is front her, board her, woo her, assail her.
By my troth, I would not undertake her in this company. Is that the meaning of a cost?
Fare you well, gentlemen.
Oh, thou let part so, Sir Andrew, would thou might never draw sword again.
And you part so, mistress. I would I might never draw sword again. Fair lady, do you think you have fools in hand?
Sir, I have not you by the hand.
Marry, but you shall have, and here's my hand.
Now, sir, a thought is free. I pray you, bring your hand to the buttery bar and let it drink.
Wherefore, sweetheart? What's your metaphor?
It's dry, sir.
I think so. I am not such an ass, but I can keep my hand dry. But what's your jest?
A dry jest, sir.
Are you full of them?
Aye, sir, I have them at my fingers' ends. Mary, now I let go your hand. I am barren.
Thou lackst a cup of canary night. When did I see thee so put down?
Never in your life, I think. Unless you see canary put me down. Methinks sometimes I have no more wit than a Christian or an ordinary man has. But I am a great eater of beef, and I believe that does harm to my wit.
Oh, no question.
And I thought that I'd forswear it. I'll ride home tomorrow, Sir Toby.
Pourquoi? My dear knight.
What is pourquoi? Do or not do? I would I had bestowed that time in the tongues that I have in fencing, dancing, and bear baiting. Oh, had I but followed the arts.
Oh, then thou had had an excellent head of hair.
Oh, why would that have mended my hair?
Past question, for thou see, it will not curl by nature.
But it becomes me well enough, does not?
Oh, excellent. It hangs like flax on a distaff. And I hope to see a housewife take thee between her legs and spin it off.
Faith, I'll home tomorrow, Sir Toby. Your niece will not be seen, or if she be, it's 4 to 1 she'll none of me. The Count himself here hard by wooed her.
She'll have none of the Count. She'll not match above her degree, neither in estate, years not wit. I have heard her swear to it. Tut, there's life in it, man.
Oh, I'll stay a month longer.
Ah.
I am a fellow of the strangest mind in the world. I delight in masks and revels, sometimes all together.
Oh, are thy good at these kickshaws, knight?
As any man in Illyria, whatsoever he be, under the degree of my betters. But yet I will not compare with an old man.
Oh, what is thy excellence in the galliard?
Faith, I can cut a caper.
Oh, and I can cut the mutton to it.
And I think I have the back trick simply as strong as any man in Illyria.
Why are these things hid? Why have these gifts a curtain before them? Are they like to take dust like Mr. Small's picture? Why dost thou not go to church in a galliard and come home in a curretto? What dost thou mean? Is this a world to hide virtues in? I did think by the excellent constitution of thy leg it was formed unto the star of a galliard.
Aye, 'tis strong. And it does indifferent well in a flame-coloured stock. Shall we set about some revel?
Oh, what else shall we do? Were we not born on a Taurus?
Taurus at sides and heart.
No, sir. It is legs and thighs. Let me see thee caper. Oh, excellent. Higher, higher.
Cesario, ho!
On your attendance here, my lord.
Cesario, thou knowest no less, but all. I have enclasped to thee the book even of my secret soul. Therefore, good youth, address thy gate unto her, being not denied access. Stand at her doors, and tell them there thy fixed foot shall grow till thou hath audience.
Sure, my noble lord, if she be so abundant to her sorrows as it spoke, she will never admit me.
Be clamorous, and leap all civil bounds rather than make unprofited return.
Say I do speak with her, my lord. What then?
Oh, then, unfold the passion of my love. Surprise her with discourse of my dear faith. It shall become thee well to act my woes. She'll attend it better in thy youth than in a nuncio's of more grave aspect.
I think not so, my lord.
Dear lad, believe it, for they shall yet belie thy happy years that say thou art a man. Diana's lip is not more smooth and rubious. Thy small pipe is as the maiden's organ, shrill and sound, and all is semblative of a woman's heart. I know thy constellation is right up for this affair. Prosper well in this, and thou shalt live as freely as thy lord, to call his fortunes thine.
I'll do my best to woo your lady. Yet, above of strife, whoever I woo, myself would be his wife.
Nay, either tell me where thou hast been, or I will not open my lips so wide as a bristle may enter in way of thy excuse. My lady will hang me for thy absence.
Let her hang me. He that is well hanged needs to fear no colours.
Make that good.
And he shall see none to fear.
A good Lenten answer. I can tell thee where that saying was born, if I fear no colours.
Where, good Mistress Mary?
In the wars. And that may you be so bold to say your foolery.
God give them wisdom that have it, and those that are fools let them use their talents.
Yet you will be hanged for being so long absent. Or to be turned away. Is that not as good as a hanging to you?
Many a good hanging prevents a bad marriage, and for turning away, let summer bear it out.
You are resolute then.
Not so neither, but I'm resolved on two things.
That if one break, the other will hold. Or if both break, your gaskins fall.
Apt, in good faith, very apt. You go your way, and if Sir Toby should leave drinking, there ain't as witty a piece of Eve's flesh as any in Illyria.
Peace, you rogue, no more of that. Here comes my lady. Make your excuse wisely, you were best.
Wilt thou put me into good fooling? Those wits that think they have thee do oft prove fools, and I, who fear I lack thee, should pass for a wise man. For as Chronopolis said, better the witty fool than the foolish wit. God bless you, lady.
Take the fool away.
Did you not hear her? Take the lady away.
Go to, you're a dry fool. I'll no more of you. Besides, you grow dishonest.
Two thoughts, Madonna, that drinking and good counsel will not dispel. Forgive a dry fool drink, and is the fool not dry. Bid the dishonest man mend his ways. If he mends, he is no longer dishonest. If he cannot, let the botcher mend him. For everything that is mended is but patched. Virtue that transgresses is patched with sin. Sin that amends is patched with virtue. If this simple syllogism should hold so. If not, what remedy? As there is no true cold but calamity, so beauty's a flower. The lady bade, take the fool away. Therefore I say, take her away.
Sir, I bade them take you away.
Misprisoned by the highest order, Coculus non facit monicum. That is to say, I grow not motley of the brain. Good Madonna, give me leave to prove you the fool.
Can you do it?
Dexterously, good Madonna.
Make your proof.
I must catechize you on one thing, Madonna. Good, my mouse of virtue. Answer me.
For want of other idleness, I'll bide your proof.
Why mourn'st thou?
Good fool, for my brother's death.
I think his soul is in hell.
I know his soul is in heaven, fool.
More fool Madonna to mourn her brother's soul being in heaven. Take her away, gentlemen.
What think you of this fool, Malvolio? Doth he not mend?
Yes, and shall do to the pangs of death shake him. Infirmity that decays the wise doth ever make a better fool.
God send you a speedy infirmity for ever increasing your folly. Sir Toby will be sworn that I am no fox, but he will not give his word for 2 pence that you are no fool.
How say you to that, Malvolio?
I marvel your ladyship takes delight in such a barren rascal. I saw him put down the other day with an ordinary fool that has no more brains than a stone. Look you now, he's out of his guard already. If you do not laugh and minister occasion to him, he's gagged. I protest I take these wise men that crow so at these set kind of fools no better than the fool Zane is.
Oh, you are sick of self-love, Malvolio, and taste with a distempered appetite. To be generous, guiltless, and of free disposition is to take those things for bird bolts that used in cannon bullets. There is no slander in an allowed fool, though he do nothing but rail, nor no railing in a known discreet man, though he do nothing but reprove.
Mercury endure with leasing. Thou speakst well of fools.
Madam, there is at the gate a young gentleman much desires to speak with you. From the Count Orsino, is it? I know not, madam. 'Tis a fair young man and well attended. Who of my people hold him in delay? Sir Toby, madam, your kinsman. Fetch him off, I pray you. He speak nothing but madman. Fie on him. Go you, Malvolio. If it be a suit from the Count, I am sick or not at home. What you will to dismiss it. Now you see, sir, how your fooling grows old and people dislike it.
Thou speakst for us, Madonna, as if thine own son should be a fool, whose skull Jove crowned full of brains. Here he comes. One of thy kin has a most weak pia mater.
By mine honour, half drunk. What is he at the gate, cousin?
A gentleman.
A gentleman. What gentleman?
'Tis a gentleman here.
Good Sir Toby.
Cousin? Cousin! How have you come so early by this lethargy?
Lechery? I defy lechery. There's one at the gate.
Aye, marry, what is he?
Let him be the devil, and he will. I care not. Give me face, say I. Well, it's all one.
What's a drunken man like, fool?
Like a drowned man, a fool and a madman. One draught above heat makes him a fool. A second mads him, and a third drowns him.
Go thou and seek the crowner. Let him sit on my cause. For he is in the 3rd degree of drink. He is drowned. Go look after him.
He is but mad yet, and the fool shall look to the madman.
Madam, yon young fellow swears he will speak with you. I told him you were sick, but he takes on him, so understands so much, and therefore comes to speak with you. I told him you were asleep, and he seems to have foreknowledge of that too, and therefore comes to speak with you. What is to be said to him, lady? He's fortified against any denial.
Tell him he shall not speak with me.
Has been told so, and says he will stand at your door like a sheriff's post, and be the supporter to a bench, but he will speak with you.
What kind of man is he?
Why, of mankind.
What manner of man?
A very ill manner. He will speak with you, and will you or no?
Of what personage in years is he?
Well, not yet old enough for a man, nor young enough for a boy. As a squash is before 'tis a peas cod, or a codling when 'tis almost an apple.
It is with him in standing water between boy and man. He is very well favoured and speaks very shrewishly. One would think his mother's milk was scarce out of him.
Let him approach. Call in my gentlewoman.
A gentlewoman, my lady calls.
Give me my veil, come throw it over my face. We will once more hear Orsino's embassy. The Honourable Lady of the House, which is she? Speak to me, I shall answer for her. Your will? Most radiant, exquisite, and unmatchable beauty. I pray you tell me if this be the Lady of the House, for I never saw her. I'd be loath to cast away my speech, for besides it's excellent and well penned, I've taken great pains to study it. Good beauties, let me sustain no scorn. I am very comfortable even to the least sinister usage. Whence came you, sir? I can say little more than I have studied, and that questions out of my part. Good gentleman, give me modest assurance if you be the lady of the house, that I may proceed in my speech. Are you a comedian? No, my profound heart, and yet by the very fangs of malice, I swear, I am not that I play. Are you the lady of the house? If I do not usurp myself, I am. Most certain if you are she, you do usurp yourself, for what is yours to reserve is not yours to bestow. But this is for my commission. I will honor my speech at your praise and show you the heart of my message. Oh, come to what is important in it. I forgive you the praise. Alas, I took great pains to study it, and it is political. It is the more like to be famed. I pray you keep it in. I heard you were saucy at my gates, and allowed your approach, rather to wonder at you than to hear you. If you be not mad, be gone. If you have reason, be brief. It is not that time of moon with me to make one in so skipping a dialogue. Will you hoist sail, sir? Here lies your way. No, good scholar, I'm to hold here a little longer. Some modification for your giant sweet lady. Tell me your mind. I am a messenger. Sure you have some hideous matter to deliver, when the curse of it is so fearful. Speak your office. It alone concerns your ear. I bring no overture of war, no taxation of homage. I hold the olive in my hand. My words are as full of speech as matter. Yet you began rudely. What are you? What would you? The rudeness that hath appeared in me that I learned from my entertainment. What I am and what I are as full in secret as maidenhood. To your ears, divinity. To any others, profanation. Give us the place alone. We will hear this divinity. Now, sir, what is your text? Most sweet lady, a comfortable doctrine and much many said of it. Where lies your text? In Orsino's bosom. In his bosom? In what chapter of his bosom? To answer by the method in the very first of his heart. Oh, I've read it. It's heresy. Have you no more to say? Good madam, let me see your face. Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face? You are now out of your text, but we will draw the curtain and show you the picture. Well, look you, sir, such a one I was this present. Is it not well done? Excellently done. If God did all. It is ingrained, sir. It will endure wind and weather. It is beauty truly blent, whose red and white nature's own sweet and cunning hand laid on. Lady, you're the prudest she alive, if you lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy. Oh, sir, I will not be so hard-hearted. I will give out diverse schedules of my beauty. It shall be inventoried, and every particle and utensil labelled to my will, as item, 2 lips, indifferent red. Item, 2 grey eyes, with lids to them. Item, 1 neck, 1 chin, and so forth. Were you sent hither to praise me?
I see you for what you are. You're too proud. Yet, if you are the devil, you are fair. My lord and master loves you. Oh, such love could be but recompense, though you were crowned a noble parade of beauty.
How does he love me?
With adorations, fairy tale tears, with groans that thunder love, with sighs of fire.
Your lord does know my mind. I cannot love him. Yet, I suppose him virtuous, know him noble, of great estate, of fresh and stainless youth, in voices well divulged, free, learned, valiant, and in dimension and shape of nature a gracious person. But yet I cannot love him. He might have took his answer long ago.
If I did love you in my master's flame, with such a suffering, such a deadly life, in your denial I would find no sense. I would not understand it.
Why? What would you?
Make me a willow cabin at your gate, and call upon my soul within the house. Write loyal cantons of condemned love, and make them sing them loud, even the dead of night. Hallow your name to the reverberant hills, and make the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivia! Oh, you should not rest between the elements of air and earth, but you should pity me.
You might do much. What is your parentage?
Above my fortunes, if my state is well, I am a gentleman.
Get you to your lord. I cannot love him. Let him send no more. Unless, perchance, you come to me again, to tell me how he takes it. I fare thee well. I thank you for your pains. Spend this for me.
I'm no fee post lady, keep your purse. My master, not myself, lacks recompense. Love make his heart a flint that you should love, and make it fervor like my master's be placed in contempt. Farewell, for cruelty.
What is your parentage? Oh. Above my fortunes, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman. I'll be sworn thou art, thy face, thy tongue, thy limbs, actions and spirits do make thee frightful blazing. Not too fast, so. Unless the master were the man. How now? Even so quickly may one catch the plague? Methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at mine eyes. Well, let it be.
Fortune forbid my outside had not charmed her. She made good view of me. Indeed, so much that straight methought her eyes had lost their tongue. For she did speak in starts. Distracted. What ho, my radio!
Here, madam, at your service.
Run after that same peevish messenger, the counter's man. He left his ring behind him, would I or not? Tell him I'll none of it. Desire him not to flatter with his lord, nor to hold him up with hopes. I am not for him. If the youth would come this way tomorrow, I'll give him reason for it. Hide thee,
Madam, I will.
I do, I know not what, and fear to find. My mind too great a flattery for mine eyes. O fate, show thy force. Ourselves we do not owe, and what is decreed must be, and be this so.
Sir! 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 Were you not even now with the Countess Olivia?
Even now, sir, on a moderate pace, I have since arrived.
But she returns this ring to you, sir. You might have saved me my pains to have taken it away yourself. She adds, moreover, that you should put your lord into desperate assurance that she will have none of him. And one thing more, that you never again be so hardy as to come again in his affairs unless it is to report your lord's taking of this. Receive it so.
She took the ring of me, I'll none of it.
But come, sir, you peevishly threw it to her, and it is her will that it should be thus returned. If it be worth stooping for, there it lie in your eye. If not, it is that finds it.
I left no ring with her. What means this lady? She loves me, sure. The cunning of her passion invites me this churlish messenger. None of my lord's ring. Why, he sent her none. I am the man, if it be so, as it is. Poor lady, she would better love a dream. Disguise, I see thou art of wickedness, where the pregnant enemy does much. How easy is it for the proper false in women's waxen hearts to set their forms? Alas, our frailty is the cause, not we, for such as we are made of, such we be. How will this badge? As I am man, my state is desperate for my master's love. As I am woman, now will last the days where thrifty shines so poor Olivia breathe. O time, thou must untangle this, not I. It's too hard enough for me to untie. Take, oh, take those lips away that so sweetly were forsworn, and those eyes the brink of day, lies that you mislead the morn.
Will you stay no longer? Nor will you not that I go with you?
By your patience, no. My stars shine darkly over me. The malignancy of my fate might perhaps distemper yours. Therefore, I shall crave of you your leave, that I may bear my evils alone. It were a bad recompense for your love to lay any of them on you.
Let me yet know whither you are bound.
No, sooth, sir, my determinate voyage is mere extravagancy. But I perceive in you so excellent a touch of modesty, that you will not extort from me what I am willing to keep in. Therefore, it charges me in manner the rather to express myself. You must know of me then, Antonio. My name is Sebastian, which I called Roderigo. My father was that Sebastian of Messaline, whom I know you have heard of. He left behind him myself and a sister, both born in an hour. If the heavens had been pleased, would we had so ended. But you altered that, sir. For some hour before you took me from the breach of the sea, was my sister drowned.
Oh, alas the day!
A lady, sir, though it was said she much resembled me, was yet of many accounted beautiful. But though I could not with such estimable wonder over far believe that, yet thus far I will boldly publish her. She bore a mind that envy could not but call fair. She is drowned already, sir, with salt water, though I seem to drown her remembrance again with more.
Pardon me, sir, your bad entertainment.
Oh, good Antonio, forgive me your trouble.
But if you will not murder me for my love, let me be your servant.
If you will not undo what you have done, that is, kill him whom you have recovered, desire it not.
Fare ye well at once. My bosom is full of kindness, and I am yet so near the manners of my mother, that upon the least occasion more, mine eyes will tell tales of me. I am bound to the Count Orsino's court. Farewell.
May the gentleness of all the gods go with thee. I have many enemies in Orsino's court, else I would shortly see thee there. But come what may, I do adore thee so, and danger shall seem sport, and I will go.
Approach, Sir Andrew. Not to be abed after midnight is to be up betimes, and deliculo surgery, thou know it.
Nay, my troth, I know not. But I know to be up late is to be up late.
Oh, false conclusion! I hate it as a non-filled canon. Does not our life consist of the four elements?
So they say, but I think it rather consists of eating and drinking.
Oh, thou art a scholar! Let us therefore eat and drink. Marianne, I say, a scoop of wine!
Here comes the fool, face.
Oh, now, my hearts, did you ever see a picture of we three?
Welcome us! Oh, let's have a catch!
By my troth, the fool has an excellent breast. I had rather than 40 shillings, I had such a leg, and so sweet a breath to sing as the fool has. In sooth, thou wast in very gracious fooling last night, when thou spokest of Pigrogromitus of the Vapians passing the equinoctial with us. 'Twas very good in faith. I sent thee sixpence for thy liman, hadst it?
I did impeticus thy gratulity. My Rolio's nose is no whipstock, my lady has a fair hand, and the mimiadons are no bottle ale houses.
Excellent. It's the best fooling when all is done. Now a song.
Come on, there is sixpence for you. Now a song.
And here's a testful of me too, for if one night give a testful.
Would you like a love song or a song of good life?
Oh, a love song, a love song.
I cannot but good life.
Oh, Mistress Mine, where are you roaming?
Oh, stay and hear your true love coming. That can sing both high and low. That can sing both high and low. Think no further, pretty sweeting. Journeys ending, lovers meeting. Only a wise man's son doth know. Only a wise man's son doth know.
Excellent. Good.
Good, good.
Oh, what is love? 'Tis not hereafter.
Present love, present laughter. What's to come is still unsure. What's to come is still unsure. In delay there lies no plenty. Then one kiss be sweet and plenty. Youths are stopped will not endure. Youths are stopped will not endure.
A mellifluous voice as I am true knight.
A contagious breath.
Very sweet and contagious faith.
To hear by the nose. It is dulcet and contagious. But shall we make the welkin dance indeed? Shall we rouse the night owl in a couch
that will draw 3 souls out of 1 weaver? Shall we do that?
And you love me? Let's do it. I'm dogged to catch.
By a lady, and some dogs to catch well.
Most certain. Let our catch be thou knave.
Hold thy peace, thou knave, knight. I'll be constrained if I call you knave, knight.
'Tis not the first time I have constrained one to call me knave. Begin, fool. It begins. Hold thy peace.
I shall never begin if I hold my peace.
Oh, good it may come begin.
Hold thy peace, I prithee, hold thy peace. Hold thy peace, I prithee, hold thy peace. Hold thy peace, I prithee, hold thy peace.
My lady would not call up her steward Malvolio and bid him turn you out of doors. Never trust me.
My lady is a Catan. We are politicians. And Malvolio's a Peggy Ramsey. Free merry man be we. Am I not consanguineous? Am I not of her blood? Silly valley, lady, there dwelt a man in Babylon. Lady.
Beshrew me the knight's in admirable fooling.
Aye, he does well enough if he be bestowed. Aye, and so do I too. He does it with a better grace, but I do it more natural.
Oh, on the 12th day of December.
5 gold rings for calling mercy.
Canst there be more light? My masters, are you mad or what are you? Have you no wit, manners, nor honesty but to gabble like tinkers at this time of night? May ye make an ale-house of my lady's house that you gather up, you squeak out your cosiest catches without any mitigation or remorse of voice? Is there no respect of place, persons, nor time in you?
We did keep time, sir, in our catches. Snack up.
Sir Toby, I must be round with you. My lady bade me tell you that though she harbours you as her kinsman, she's nothing allied to your disorders. And if you can separate yourself and your misdemeanours, you are welcome to the house. If not, and it will please you to take farewell of her, she is very willing to bid you farewell.
Oh, farewell, dear heart, since I must need be gone.
His eyes do show, his days are almost done.
Is it even so?
But I will never die.
Oh, Sir Toby, there you lie.
Well, this is much credit to you.
Shall I bid him go?
Oh, and if you do,
Shall I bid him go and spare not?
oh, no, you dare not.
Oh, out of tune, sir. Lie. Art any more than a steward? Dost thou think because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale?
By Sudan and ginger, that's hot in the mouth.
Thou art in the right! Go, sir, rub your chains with crumbs. Marianne, a stoup of wine.
Mistress Mary, if you prized my lady's favour with anything more contempt, you would not give means to this uncivil rule. She shall know of it by this hand.
Go shake your ears.
'Twere as good a deed as to drink when a man's a-hungry, to challenge in the field, and then to break promise with him, and make a fool of him.
Do it not! I'll write thee a challenge, or I'll deliver thy indignation to him by word of mouth.
Sweet Sir Toby, be patient for tonight. Since the youth of the Count's was today with thy lady, she is much out of quiet. For Monsieur Malvolio, let me alone with him. If I do not gull him into a nayword and make him a common recreation, do not think I have wit enough to lie straight in my bed. I know I can do it.
Possesses! Possesses! Tell us something of him.
Marry, sir, sometimes he is a kind of Puritan.
Oh, if I thought that, I'd beat him like a dog.
What? For being a Puritan? Thy exquisite reason, dear knight.
I have no exquisite reason for it, but I have reason good enough.
The devil a Puritan that he is, or anything constantly but a time pleaser. An affectioned ass that can't state without book and utters it by great swords. The best persuaded of himself, so crammed as he thinks with excellencies, that it is his grounds of faith that all that look on him love him. And on that vice in him will my revenge find notable cause to work.
What wilt thou do?
I will drop in his way some obscure epistles of love, wherein, by the color of his beard, the shape of his leg, the manner of his gait, the expressure of his eye, forehead, and complexion, he shall find himself most feelingly personated. I can write, very like my lady your niece. On a forgotten matter, we can hardly make distinction of our hands.
Excellent! I smell a device.
I have it in my nose too.
He shall think by the letters that thou wilt judge that they come from my niece, and that she is in love with him.
My purpose is indeed a horse of that color.
And your horse now would make him an ass.
Ass, I doubt not.
Oh, 'twill be admirable.
Sport royal, I warrant you. I know my physical work with him. I will plant you two, and let the fool make a third, where he shall find the letter. Observe his construction of it. For tonight, to bed, and dream on the event.
Ooh. Good night, Penthesilea.
Before me, she's a good wench.
Oh, she's a beagle, true bred, and one that adores me. What of that?
I was adored once, too.
Oh, let's to bed, knight. Thou had need send for more money, knight.
Oh, if I cannot recover your niece, I am a foul way out.
Send for more money. If thou had her not in the end, call me cut.
If I do not, never trust me. Take it how you will.
Come, knight. It's too late to go to bed now. Go burn some sack. Come, knight, come. Hold thy peace, I pray thee, hold thy peace, thou knave. Hold thy peace, really hold thy peace, thou knave.
Come hither, boy. If ever thou shalt love, in the sweet pangs of it, remember me. For such as I am, all true lovers are, unstayed and skittish in all motions else, save in the constant image of the creature who is beloved. How dost thou like this place?
It gives an echo to the very seat where love is throned.
Thou dost speak masterly. My life upon it. Young though thou art, thine eye hath stayed upon some favour that it loves, hath it not, boy?
A little by your favour.
Oh, what kind of woman is it?
Of your complexion.
Well, she is not worth thee then. What years, i' faith?
About your years, my lord.
Too old, by heaven! Let still the woman take an elder than herself. So where's she to him? So sways she level in her husband's heart. For, boy, however we do praise ourselves, our fancies are more giddy and unfirm, more wavering, longing, sooner lost and worn than women's are.
I think it's well, my lord.
Then let thy love be younger than thyself, or thy affection cannot hold the bent. For women are as roses, whose fair flower, being once displayed, doth fall that very hour.
And so they are. Alas, that they are so, to die, even when they to perfection grow.
Oh, fellow, come! That song we had last night. Mark it, Cesario. It is old and plain.
Come away, death, by the sad cypress I will be laid. Fly away, breath, I am slain by a fair cruel maid.
Once more, Cesario. Get thee to yon same sovereign cruelty. Tell her my love, more noble than the world, prizes not quantity of dirty lands. The part that fortune hath bestowed upon her, tell her I hold as giddily as fortune. But 'tis that miracle and queen of gems that nature pranks her and attracts my soul.
But if she cannot love you, sir?
That cannot be so answered.
Sooth, but you must. Say that some lady, as perhaps there is, hath for your love a great pang of heart as you have for Olivia. You cannot love her. You tell her so. Must she not then be answered?
There is no woman's sides can bide the beating of so strong a passion that love doth give my heart. No woman's heart so big to hold so much. They lack retention. Alas, their love may be called appetite. No motion of the liver, but the palate that suffers surfeit, cloyment, and revolt. But mine is all as hungry as the sea, and can digest as much. Make no compare of that love a woman can bear me, and that I owe Olivia.
Hey, but I know.
What dost thou know?
Too well what love women to men may owe. In faith they are as true of heart as we. My father had a daughter loved a man. As it might be, perhaps, were I a woman, I would your lordship.
And what's her history?
A blank, my lord, for she never told her love. She pined in thought, and with the green and yellow melancholy, she sat like Patience on a monument, smiling at grief. Was this not love indeed? We men may say more, swear more, but indeed, our shows are more than will, for still we prove much in our vows, but little in our love.
But died thy sister of her love, my boy?
I am all the daughters of my father's house, and all the brothers too. But yet I know not. Sir, shall I to this lady?
Aye, that's the theme. To her in haste. Give her this jewel. Say, my love can give no place, bide no denay.
Come thy ways, Signor Fabian.
Oh, nay, I'll come. If I lose a scruple of this sport, let me be boiled to death with melancholy.
Oh, would thou not be glad to see the niggardly, rascally sheep-biter come by some notable shame?
I would exult, man. You know, he brought me out of favor with my lady about a bear baiting here.
Oh, to anger him, we'll have the bear again, and we will fool him black and blue. Shall we not, Sir Andrew?
And we do not, it is pity of our lives.
Ooh, here comes the little villain. How now, my metal of India?
Get ye all three into the box troop. Malvolio's coming down the walk. He has been yonder in the sun practicing behavior to his own shadow this half hour. Observe him for the love of mockery, for I know this letter will make a contemplative idiot of him. Post, in the name of jesting. Lie thou there, for here comes the trout that must be caught with tickling.
'Tis but fortune. All is fortune. Maria once told me that she did affect me, and I have heard herself come thus near that, should she fancy, it should be one of my complexion. Besides, she uses me with a more exalted respect than any that follows her. What should I think on it?
Ah, here's an overweening rogue.
Oh, peace! Contemplation makes a rare turkey cock of him. How he jets under his advanced plumes. Slight, I could so beat you, rogue.
Peace, I say.
To be Count Malvolio.
Oh, rogue!
Pistol him.
Peace, peace.
There is example for it. The lady of the street, she married the yeoman of the wardrobe.
Fie on him, Jezebel. Oh, peace! Now he's deeply in. Look how imagination blows him.
Having been 3 months married to her, and sitting in my state,
For a stone boat to hit him in the eye.
calling my officers about me, in my branched velvet gown, having come from a daybed where I have left Olivia sleeping,
Fire and brimstone!
Oh, peace!
and then to have the humour of state, and after a demure travel of regard, telling them, I know my place as I would they should do theirs, two for my kinsman Toby.
Oh, bolts and shackles!
Peace! Now.
7 of my people, with an obedient start, make out for him. I frown the while, perchance wind up watch or play with some rich duel. Toby approaches and courtesies thereto.
What?
I extend my hand thus, and quenching my familiar smile, with an austere regard of control,
And does not Toby take you a blow on the lips then?
saying, Cousin Toby, my fortunes having cast me upon your niece, give me this prerogative of speech.
What? What?
You must amend your drunkenness.
Oh, I'll scan.
Nay, patience, or we break the sinews of our plot.
Besides, you waste the treasure of your time with a foolish knight.
That's me, I warrant you.
One Sir Andrew.
I knew it was I, for many do call me fool.
What employment have we here?
Now is the woodcock near the gin.
Peace and the spirit of humors intimate reading aloud to him.
By my life, this is my lady's hand. These be her very C's, her U's our T's, and thus makes she her great P's. It's in contempt of question her hand.
Her C's, her U's, and her T's? Why that?
To the unknown beloved, this and my good wishes.
Her very phrases. And by your leave, wax, soft, the pressure of her Lucretia with which she uses to seal. 'Tis my lady. To whom should this be?
This wins him, liver and all.
Jove knows I love, but who? Lips do not move. No man must know.
No man must know. What follows? The number's altered. No man must know. If this should be thee, Malvolio.
Mary, hang thee, Brock!
I may command where I adore, but silence like a Lucretian knife with bloodless stroke my heart doth gore. M-O-A-I doth sway my life.
A fustian riddle.
Excellent wench, say I.
M-O-A-I doth sway my life. Nay, but first, let me see.
What dish of poison has she dressed him?
And with what wing the stallion shakes at it.
I may command where I adore. Why, she commands me. I serve her. She is my lady. This is evident to any formal capacity. There is no obstruction in this. And the end. What should this alphabetical position portend? If I could make it resemble something in me. M-O-A-I.
Oh, make up that. He's now in a cold scent.
M. Malvolio. M. Why, that begins my name.
Did not I say he would work it out?
But there is no consonancy in the signal that suffers under probation. A should follow what O does.
Aye, and O shall end, I hope.
Aye, or I'll cudgel him and make him cry.
Oh! And I comes behind.
Aye, and had you an eye behind you, you may see more detraction at your heels than fortunes before you.
M-O-A-I. This simulation is not of the former, and yet to crush this a little it would bow to me. For every one of these letters is in my name. Soft, here follows prose.
If this fall into thy hand, revolve. In my stars I am above thee, but be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Thy fates open their hands, let thy blood and spirit embrace them, and, to inure thyself to what thou art like to be, cast thy humble slough and appear fresh. Be opposite with a kinsman, surly with servants. Let thy tongue tang arguments of state. Put thyself into the trick of singularity. She thus advises thee that sighs for thee. Remember who commended thy yellow stockings, and wish to see thee ever cross-gartered. I say remember. Go to, thou art made, if thou desirest to be so. If not, let me see thee a steward still, the fellow of servants, and not worthy to touch fortune's fingers. Farewell. She that would alter services with thee, the fortunate unhappy.
I do not now fool myself to let imagination jade me, for every reason excites to this that my lady loves me. She did commend my yellow stockings of late. She did praise my leg being cross-gartered, and in this she manifests herself to my love, and with a kind of injunction that drives me to the habits of her liking. I thank my stars I am happy. I will be strange, stout, in yellow stockings, and cross-gartered, even with the swiftness of putting on. Jove and my stars be praised. And here is a postscript.
Thou canst not choose but know who I am. If thou entertainest my love, let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smiles become thee well. Therefore, in my presence, still smile, dear my sweet, I prithee.
Jove, I thank thee, I will smile. I will do everything that thou wilt have me.
I would not give my part in this for a pension of thousands to be paid by the Sophie.
I could marry this wench for this device.
So could I too.
And ask no other dowry with her but such another jest.
Nor I neither. Here comes my noble gull-catcher.
Oh, will thou set thy foot on my neck?
Or mine neither.
Thou hast put him in such a dream that when the image of it leaves him, he must run mad.
Nay, but say true, does it work upon him?
Like aqua vita with a midwife.
If you will then see the fruits of this sport, mark his first approach before my lady. He will come to her in yellow stockings, which is a color she abhors, and cross-gartered, a fashion she detests, and he will smile upon her, which will now be so unsuitable to her disposition, being addicted to a melancholy as she is, that it cannot but turn him into a notable contempt. If you will see this, follow me.
To the gates of Tartar, thou most excellent devil of wit!
I want to.